Hey everyone, what is up and welcome back to my channel, Shayne TV. My name is Marissa Hill. If you're new to my channel, do not forget to hit that subscribe button as well as give this unboxing and review a thumbs up at the end if you enjoyed it. And feel free to leave me any comments or questions that you may have on anything that we discussed today. And do not forget to hit that notification bell as we have a ton of heat coming out this week that I do want you guys to not miss out on. So hit that notification bell so you are alerted as soon as that is up and uploaded, up and ready and posted to YouTube for your viewing. All right, you guys. So if you guessed, yeah, there were a lot of Air Force One planes flying over my head. I don't know where those came from. Very strange seeing those inside an apartment, right? We are going to be unboxing none other than this fashion-forward Comme des Garcons collab with Nike's one of their most classic silhouettes, the Air Force One in the mid-form. And we are fortunate enough to have both colorways, so we are going to go through the overview of both of these shoes together combined, since the only differences we're seeing here is the color and leather, white versus black. Then we're going to discuss sizing and how this specific silhouette fits me personally. Then we're going to hop into some styling, and styling's going to be a little bit different today, guys, because that's right, you guessed, I've got a voting shirt on. So the styling section today is all different voting t-shirts by different designers, and this is to encourage you to go out there and vote, as that is within the next day. So get out there and vote. Other than that, we'll go through some styling to see how fashionable you can be while going in there to put your ballot in. Then we are going to conclude with the resale on how these shoes are currently doing in the aftermarket. All right, so let's hop into this overview. All right, so for those of you who want a little more information on Rei Kawakubo, definitely go back, check out my video on her collab she did with Nike for the Dunks. There, I really go into detail on history about her as a designer. Today, I'm only going to do little touches on it. So for those of you who have already seen this, it's because you're probably really into the fashion scene, and for somebody personally like myself who works in the fashion industry, I definitely saw these on the runway back in March, and this was during their Fashion Winter 20 runway show. It was the Neo Future show that we saw the models walking in these shoes in. Nothing gives me greater excitement than seeing models walking in sneakers, by the way, just because as a female, there is nothing worse than getting heels. They're super uncomfortable and you literally have no clue if you're gonna fall on your face. That is the worst thing to happen, is to literally trip and fall on the runway. I think that is probably one of the biggest fear of any models. Also, you know, it's pretty common for somebody to actually lose a shoe while they're walking down the catwalk. So definitely exciting for those models to have seen that they would be walking down the runway in these comfy Air Force Ones. So this collab basically punctuates Rei Kawakubo's idea that it's basically not possible to create something completely new. And so of course we have definitely seen the Air Force One, as I've stated in other videos. This is probably the most commonly worn shoe in my industry. Not the mids per se, the lows, but I swear if you came to a model casting, every single one of those models would be wearing plain white Air Force Ones. It just seems to be the go-to trending shoe for girls in my industry. Me personally, I am all about collabs, and that's why I was so excited when I saw this specific collab, because it's a different take on the Air Force One. It's subtle, but I do really find that I'm intrigued by the subtleties of this. And you know, these are very common subtleties when I see Rei Kawakubo's work. When she's doing collabs, it's always very simplistic in coloring scheme, especially blacks. So let's go through and just start looking at like this quality leather that I'm already feeling here on this Velcro strap. My goodness, that is quality leather, and it's got like some nice kind of structure that's irregular going around that Velcro strap, definitely giving it some uniqueness. And then we've got that Comme des Garcons on the side there, printed on top of that leather, and that kind of shiny black coloring scheme on top of the white leather. It comes with just basic simple white laces. On this one, of course, we've got the black laces and the opposite color scheme going on the black versus white. So we've got some nice paneled cutouts with just these crazy raw edges. And as opposed to seeing what I've been used to seeing on a lot of these shoes, where you see that there's deconstruction, there's actually just extreme amounts of extra leather that they've, really added, this premium leather where you have excess leather going on throughout the paneling of the shoe. And on the toe box, we've got like this cutout kind of different shapes forming there. And then it has like a lower textured kind of base here. Almost looks like it opens up. It does kind of open up. You can really get in there and feel how soft that leather is. My goodness, this is definitely genuine leather. You can feel it. And then we've got some kind of spacing here on the top of this mid with the swoosh in just kind of this sewn in way right here on top of another kind of jagged paneling. So yeah, we've just got a surplus of extra leather going on throughout the shoe. We've got that plain base of a white midsole and white outsole. On this, we've got, of course, just the plain base of a black midsole and outsole. And then we've got the Nike Air on the back of that heel, some quality leather on that collar going on there. Then we have, actually, these are leather insoles. Feels kind of like my Pradas. Some nice Italian insoles going on there with Comme des Garcons and the Nike swoosh for that double co-branding. Then we've got just a nice simple paneled leather tongue. You can definitely tell when Nike is definitely using some genuine leather on the materials. Then we have some deconstruction with the exposed foam at the top. I feel like I'm seeing this with a lot of different silhouettes that are coming out with Nike, where they have this deconstructed top here where the foam is really just being exposed. And on here you can see as well, but instead of that kind of, it's like a darker charcoaly kind of foam going in there versus the white foam here. I don't know, guys. I'm trying to figure out which is my favorite. I think I kind of like the white more than the black. You let me know in the comments below which colorway you prefer. But I think I love the white, and I am definitely excited to pair this with different options because this is definitely going to go with everything and anything. All right, so let's talk about some sizing. So for some reason with Air Force Ones, I've come to realize that they just run large for me personally. Again, I have very skinny, narrow feet with high arches. So depending on the shape of your foot, this could actually alter whether or not this would fit the same for you versus me. So that's why I like to give you some ideas on what type of foot I have to make your judgments on what size may work best for you. On this, I decided to size half a size down. I'm typically a 7.5 in men's, which is equivalent to a size 9 in women's. For this, I went with a size 7 and it fits me perfectly. There's still actually a tad bit of extra space, so I don't feel like it's too crammed up there in the toe box. But I do feel that when I go with a 7.5 in the Air Force One silhouette series, it does tend to run a little bit large and my foot does have a lot of space behind it in the back of my heel. So definitely would recommend going half a size down in this specific silhouette or silhouette collab done with Comme des Garcons. All right, now let's talk about styling and how we style these different t-shirts. All right, so we have 3 shirts, one by Off-White, Virgil Abloh, Matt McCormick for this cream colored shirt, followed by Shayne Oliver, who represents Hood by Air. So let's start with the first t-shirt. Matt McCormick, who's actually from Spokane, Washington, representing Washington State. I love this shirt because it has, you know, this nice cowboy on a horse with the vote vote and the red and the blue, and it says go on your way but vote today. And on the back we have one of these days when we all vote. So he's actually a videographer, installationist of art. He does like some discussions on the decaying of urban culture. So he's got a very artsy, interesting background, and I think he just did a great job with this vote shirt that he decided to design. And I think that, you know, this is just a very classic coloring scheme that really goes with anything. So that was the first t-shirt that I went with. Next is Shayne Oliver. This is probably one of my favorite t-shirts, and it says Hood by Air, his brand. And it says New World Citizen, Hood by Air, racially charged since 2007, when we all vote, in this lovely red and black print. And then when we flip the shirt around, which is my favorite part of the shirt, we've got show, and show. When we all vote at the bottom. Yeah, I just love his take on this design. I've always kind of been a fan of Hood by Air, and I think that this classic shirt just basically goes with anything as well. It's very oversized compared to my other two shirts, but I do like to kind of tie it in a knot to make it a bit more fitted. But this is a one size fits all, so that is definitely why you're seeing it on the hanger in a bit wider form. All right, and last but not least, TheRealReal actually made shirts with Virgil Abloh for Off-White, and it says Model Voter. I originally ordered this in an extra small, but for some reason they sent me an XL. Not sure what happened there in that communication with logistics. I did write them and reach out and say, hey, you guys sent me the complete opposite size, but you know what? I was like, whatever. They're sold out of extra smalls now, so I'll just stick with the XL. So I did a nice little cute knot of this shirt, and obviously since I am a model for a living, I feel like this is very representative of me. And so here I am as a model voter, going and saying to all of you, get out there and go put your votes in. So these shoes were actually pretty limited. Not too many stores actually had these for sale. Just CDG as well as Dover. So as far as quantity, I think there was not a large amount to be released to the public. So as far as the retail on these shoes, it went a little bit above what your average Air Force One would go for. It retailed at $270 for both the white and the black. And currently on the resale market, it's going for both colorways around $320 to $400 depending on which size you are. All right, so thanks again, you guys, so much for tuning into my channel. If you're new, once again, don't forget, smash that subscribe button as well as give this video a thumbs up at the end if you enjoyed it, and feel free to leave me any comments or questions that you guys may have on this review today, as well as hit that notification bell because we have a ton of videos coming out that I do not want you guys to miss out on. So again, my name is Marissa Hill. This is Shayne TV. We will see you on the next video.